Ryan, thank you. Well, Vice President JD Vance arrived in Brewer this morning on Air Force 2. It's leading up to his speech at Brewer's Compotech manufacturing facility. People from across the state gathered to hear the vice president speak for the second time this year in Maine.
He was joined by former governor and Republican candidate for Congressional District 2, Paul LePage. I want to turn things over to our Phil Hirschkorn, who was there for the vice president's speech around noontime today. So, Phil, what did you see inside today?
Well, Brian and Amanda, it was another hot, sweaty rally. 300 people packed into a little space at this business we'll talk about in just a moment. He was warmly greeted, Vice President Vance, by a crowd of, as I say, about 300 people in this manufacturing plant in Brewer, which, if you don't know, is right across the Penobscot River, which is behind me. I'm in Bangor, of course. And the Vice President did focus his remarks on the economy, very specifically talking about positive news, as he sees it, in the manufacturing sector since Trump returned to office, the Oval Office, a year and a half ago. So he took the stage at Compotech, which is a native Maine company founded by UMaine graduates. It makes armored panels for Army soldiers stationed overseas. The Vice President speaking for 30 minutes, calling what's happening in today's economy a Main Street comeback and an industrial renaissance. Now, economists will dispute all of this, but Vance says 83,000 new factory construction jobs have been created in the past 18 months nationwide, and he said his administration would reimburse small businesses like Compotech for worker training and apprenticeships, emphasizing the reshoring of factory jobs here in the States, saying there have been 29,000 new ones in the past 18 months.
We want companies that buy American, that hire American, and that invest in American communities. I want to reward companies like Compotech that invest in their workers rather than in trying to ship jobs overseas just to make a quick penny.
So very much an American first agenda kind of message today. As I said, economists will dispute some of his statistics, saying, for example, GDP growth is slower now than during the Biden years, that manufacturing job growth is slower. But these will be argued between now and November. I also want to point out that he did give a big boost to 3 Republican candidates running for office here in Maine. You mentioned Paul LePage. He was the only one here. A big shout out to LePage specifically for his efforts to fight fraud when he was governor. LePage running for Congress now in the 2nd Congressional District, the Northern District of Maine. A shout out to Bobby Charles, the candidate for governor. He wasn't there, and neither was Senator Susan Collins. She got a very sweet shout out from the Vice President who presides over the Senate. He called her the most independent senator in Washington. That's very on message for Susan Collins. He said that she does an amazing job. So that's what happened here today inside the building with Vice President Vance. Amanda and Brian, back to you.
Phil Hirschkorn live for us in Bangor.